Hi, Vanni. Hope you're well. I was just wondering if we could get your general thoughts on how training camp's going so far.
Yeah, hi Joshua. For first of all, the the camp was very good. I think was completely. It was really divided in two phases. The phase that we did in Vancouver, where we did a lot of volume, we work a lot on training, being very, I would say, even analytical in our way of playing and trying to teach as much as we can our player our system. And here it has been completely the opposite. A lot of intensity, game every 3 days, and that helped us also to get into the condition. Hopefully, I hope that tomorrow several players will be able to play 90 minutes. Some other will play 90 minutes in the inter squad that will do Saturday BC plays. So I'm happy, and the team is responding well. The quality of the play has been good. We need to improve in the last third of the field, to be honest, because in the last two games I think we created a lot of chances, but we didn't capitalize on that. So yeah, I'm happy.
How was the fitness levels of the squad? You kind of mentioned conditioning. Was there a lot of getting people up to speed, or were you able to work on tactics right away?
No, it was good. It was good. Again, we used the first 2 weeks in Vancouver to create a really good volume and level of fitness, of general fitness to the player, always doing kind of a secondary session in the afternoon with a secondary run and to give them the volume in order to exude the intensity in this part of the training. Of course, we had some, I would say, a little bump. Some guys that had some little problem. Rusty took a little knock in the first game, so he's been out for a few days. Cava the same. Marcus Godinho the same. But we didn't have any, touching wood, any big problems. So the general level of fitness is good.
Awesome. Thanks, Vanni.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. We'll go to Jay.
Vanny, it's always great to see you. Do I sense a fresh haircut down there in California and a fresh shave there? Looking very styling today.
Thank you so much. I did. I did an haircut like yeah, when we had a day off, and I treated myself. I did an haircut and I also did my a pedicure that day. So I felt very stylish today. I feel
You see, so you're a guy who likes his pedicures.
well, yeah, I like to be pampered sometimes.
Vanny, you guys have generated a lot in the games that you've played. As you mentioned, the final third, the finish just hasn't been there. Does it surprise you with the continuity that you've had with your roster that you haven't had that finish?
Well, no, it's to be honest, I'm not. I was very positively impressed of our quality of putting the ball in the box, and the guys are understanding this new formation, a new this 3-5-2, 3-1-4-2, how do you want to call it, that brings probably more players in the box. I think it's been something about condition and hopefully players that they've been also unlucky a little in the box in the last two games, and yeah, so it's not an issue. We started, to be honest, working also more on finishing in training. We couldn't do it before because finishing is a work that requires the body to be fit, because if not, the mechanical load is too much for the player and we risk injury. So we also started that, and of course the repetition is going to bring confidence also to the player, and I'm confident that it's going to be okay from now on.
And a two-part question for my final one. Do you sense that there is an excitement for the guys to get back home and to get the regular season going with the way that the season finished last year? And also, news out of BC today is they've lifted restrictions, so it'll be full capacity now for sporting events. Last time, you had over 25,000 people in the stadium. Do you sense that excitement for your roster to get back home and to get back at it?
Yes, yes, I actually do. I sense the excitement, and everyone now is, I would say, we're really looking forward to, first of all, start the season with a real game in Columbus, but also we're really looking forward on March 5th, and that this news that you just told me that the government is gonna lift the restriction and having the possibility to have all of our fans in at BC Place is gonna be a huge boost for us. So we really we're really looking forward to the start of the season.
Thanks, Manny.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay. We'll go to JJ.
Konnichiwa, Vanni.
Konnichiwa, JJ.
It's nice to see you. Had a question about the game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Seeing as it's the first game against MLS competition in the preseason, are you approaching it as sort of a measuring stick of where you are in terms of system and tactics, or are you still in the player assessment mode, or is it a little bit of both?
I would say a little bit of both, but more towards the fact of measuring our in at what at which state we are in terms of a team. Tomorrow we are trying to. I'll try to treat tomorrow as more similar as an league game that I can. So only 20 players will dress, and we are not gonna do massive substitution, and we're gonna try to approach the game like a real game. And very good opponents like the Galaxy will tell us if we are able to be. We are on the right path or not. What I want to see mainly is like I've seen like a development of on how many times we can sustain, we can play our style. It was like for 20-30 minutes against Tijuana. It was 2 times 20 minutes against New Mexico. It was actually, I would say, at least the half of the game against San Diego. I would like to see the consistency on our pressure and build up to be at least for 2/3 of the game tomorrow.
In terms of players, I know we when you guys are up in camp here, we saw a lot of Ryan Raposo at wing back. Christian Dahome is going to be playing more wing back. Brian Gauld was up top last game.
Yeah.
In terms of shifting players around into maybe new or unfamiliar positions, are there any players that you have tried to find a new home for on the pitch?
Well, not a new home, but we need to be preseason is also this, also to see how we can use different player. The idea of Ryan up top was because very simple, because Cava was a little injured, and we had Brian and say let's try Ryan up top because that can be a solution during the game most of the time, and also maybe in the future if when we'll have all our number 8s back in the mix, that if they're doing very well, Ryan can play there. About Ryan Raposo is I actually have a talk with him because he was asking me, okay, which position do you see me? And I said I see as a strength for him to be able to play up top, to play wide as a wing back. He played also as an 8. He's a guy that is very intense, and especially coming off the bench most of the time, he can be a weapon in different positions.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, JJ. We'll go to Har.
I thought that because we had J, then JJ, JJJ now. So I know I'm stupid. Sorry.
Okay. Coach, you guys are coming home tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Kyle Alexander will be on the flight tomorrow. Has his work permit visa in Canada, has it come through yet, that application?
Not yet, I think. I think that, maybe something can happen today, and it's going to be, or tomorrow, and it's going to be awarded the possibility to come to Canada. But at the moment, he will stay here. We hope and we think that it's going to be solved in the next few days, so he will join us as soon as possible.
And Toss Ricketts, have you seen enough from him in the first few where he's going to sign with the first team, or do you still need to see more? Are you evaluating Toss?
Well, it's not that we have to evaluate Toss. We know Toss. We know Toss. We know what he can do on the field and off the field as a leader and as a player. I think he did well in this preseason. Unfortunately, he got a little injured in injury last game, so he in the last 2 3 days had been on the side and he won't be part of the next game. For sure, the club will talk with him and will find. I would say you will know, guys, how the things are going in the next few days. But from my point of view, he did a good preseason.
Anytime you mention Kava and a little injured, fans get a little concerned. So how is Lucas doing? Is it a short-term injury? Could he play tomorrow if needed?
No, tomorrow no, but we hope that it's gonna be available for the inter squad on Saturday, so he can have minutes there and being in the mix to be available, fully available next week. But it's what we think, and it's going. The injury, it's a small one, by the way.
Grazie. See you Friday.
See you Friday. Prego.
Thank you, Hart. We'll go to Sam.
Yeah, hi Vanny. Thanks for
Hi.
doing this. I was going to ask about midfielders anyway, but especially in light of the Alexandre news. I was just curious. You've had a chance to see him now in a couple preseason matches, adding Sebastian Berhalter to the side. Just kind of thoughts on the way he's integrated, and especially if Alexandre is not available right away, could he be someone that slots in?
Well, Seba, there was this possibility to have a player more in the midfield, and we think that would fit our way of playing. Mostly because, again, we changed a little from last year, so we play with 2-8 and a number 6, so we play with 3 central midfielder, I would say, and we needed a body more, and he's doing very well. He came on, he was already very fit because he was in preseason with Columbus, so he wasn't on a margin and he had to do it, so he could jump in immediately and doing everything with us. And I think he's doing well, and again, he's one of our I think we have 7 central midfielder in the roster with him, and everyone will have the possibility to show himself and try to play. And he's a guy that we got him also because he doesn't have the same quality of the other players that we imagine them to play in our 6th position, that are Baldi and Leo. Baldi is very technical and can be very good in the build-up. Leo is very good to getting out of pressure. Seba has that bite and the possibility to cover ground that help us defensively. So I would say that everyone will have the possibility to play also accordingly on the type of game that we'll play.
I was actually going to ask about that. You brought up Baldi. He wasn't a guy that necessarily got a ton of run at the end of last season. Does the slight tweaks you've made to your tactics going into the season maybe suit his attributes a little bit more?
I hope so, because last year he was a little bit in trouble. To be honest, he also helped the team when we were in trouble. He played 2 times as a center back, and that is not his position. And the 2-man midfielders, the 2-man central midfielder suits him less than the 3-man central midfielders when he can play as a 6, and he can be sometimes even the little quarterback as a number 6. So I hope that this change is going to also bring more confidence in him and more I would say participation in him, more in training and in games.
Great, thanks, Vanny.
No problem.
Thank you, Sam, and we'll go back to Josh.
Vanny, you seem to be really liking the 3-1-2 formation. You're mentioning your great midfielders. You mentioned with JJ's question about playing Reingold maybe in an up front position. I heard you mention this morning on Donnie and Dolly. Is this something that we might see this year, a lot of Reingold up front, just with how good of midfielders you have?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not. It's really hard to make prediction at the moment. Ryan is a player that is a good player. He can play there. He can play as an 8. Of course, if you play him as a striker, you lose a little bit in the build up because he's very good in helping the team building up. If you play him as an 8, we hope that we're not going to limit the fact that he can attack the space like he did last time as a 10 and scoring goals. So I think it will be a decision that we'll have every week. You guys know that you're not going to see a starting 11 with me. I like to have a starting 18 or even 20. So that's guys that can play. So every game, hopefully, because it means that things are going well, we'll keep consistency in the strategy and in the tactics, but the men in the lineup will change often.
Thanks very much, Vanni.
No problem.
Thank you, Josh. Go back to JJ.
Just a quick one, Vanni. They're just kind of along those lines. Do you see the flipping of the midfielder, the inverting of the midfield to having a 6 and 2 8s instead of an 8 and a 10 as generating more offense for you guys and allowing you to be more offensive, or is it more of a defensive sort of a tactic for you?
No. The main reason that we do it is to. There are actually two. The first one is to be more offensive. So in this way, we'll have the 2 number 8s that they're going to participate more, while before we had only one of the 2 6s behind Ryan that was going. So now they're both of them, and they're going to attack the channel on the strong side. So not bringing too much our striker to play wide and having one player more close to the goal. So that's the idea. And the other thing is that when we defend in this way, our pressure can be done, I would say, on the left side and on the right side without the number 10, like it was Ryan last year, running 40 yards like left and right and being very demanding for him defensively. So we think that in this way we can cover the field better defensively and have more opportunity to occupy the box when we are attacking the final third.
Thanks, Vanni. I'm sure Ryan's legs will thank you.
Yeah, hopefully, yes.
All right. Thanks, JJ, and thank you very much, Vanni.
Thank you, guys. See you Friday.